Now before we get into today's build, I just want you to have a look at the left hand side of my screen. I have Devour, Woven Mail, Frost Armour and Amplified all at the same time. The build I'm going to show you is the ultimate tank build in Destiny 2. You will never die and you'll have all these buffs consistently. Let's get into it. First off, the background gameplay I'm going to show is ultimate, so -30 heist battlegrounds on the moon. I absolutely walked through this brain dead, no effort was needed. I'm going to show you how to do this, and once you know how to do this, you will become immortal. The exotic we're going to use is no backup plans. Now, this get updated with Monument of Triumph, and essentially any shotgun or melee kills will 1. Grant you health, and 2. Extend any defensive buff that you have on. Defensive buffs include Amplified, Frost Armour, Void over Shields, Woven Mail. Every part of this build is put into place so it consistently gives us one of these defensive buffs consistently. And then once you acquire it, you bring out our exotic weapon of choice, which is Slayer's Fang. Now Slayer's Fang got updated as well in Monument of Triumph. It is a slug shotgun, but it had its ammo generation, its ammo reserves, and it intrinsically overloads. Those are the updates it received in Monument of Triumph. But what it does is it intrinsically weakens enemies and gives you true sight once you get a kill with it. But we can craft this with Repulsor Brace, which that will give us the Void Overshield part. So Void Overshield is ticked off. We use Slayer's Fang for that. Now for the Woven Mail part of the build, we need 2 things. 1, we need a weapon that has Slice. Slice, when we use our class ability, we will sever targets. Then we pair that with 2 shreds. Dealing sustained damage to a severed target unravels them. Defeating a severed target will create a hotspot of Woven Mail energy. So, use your class ability with your slice weapon. You only need to get 1 kill, and then you will see the strand pool. Walk into it, you have Woven Mail. For the Frost Armour component, we're going to use a Glacial Quake Super on Prismatic and pair that with Facet of Purpose. Picking up an Orb of Power grants either Bolt Shard Restoration, Frost Armour, Woven Mail or Overshield based on the damage type of your equipped super. So because we're on Prismatic and we have Glacial Quake and we pair that with Facet of Purpose, every time we pick up an Orb of Power we will grant ourselves 1 stack of Frost Armour. This stacks up to ×5 to give us 35% damage resist. Now to get Amplified, we need 3 parts. We need to use the Tablet of Ruin artifact, and within that artifact we need to use Flashover. When you gain maximum bolt charge, you will also become amplified. Then we pair that with Defibrillating Blast. Stunning a champion grants maximum stacks of bolt charge. Damaging targets with bolt charge jolts them and heals you. So when we stun a champ, we will get 10 stacks of bolt charge and then become amplified for 15 seconds. We can also pair this with Knockout on our aspects. Defeating targets with melee attacks makes you amplified and restores a portion of your health. So use Knockout for one of your aspects as well to give you more amplified time. And finally, let's talk about Devour. So for our other aspect, we're going to take Unbreakable. When we charge up the frontal shield, if we kill any enemies with that shield, it will give us Devour. That's it. What you can also do, and what I have on the build, is full set of Nezarec's Nightmare from the Root of Nightmares raid. 4 pieces of this. Performing a finisher versus a powerful combatant grants Devour. While you have Devour, gain damage resistance versus combatants. So when we have Devour, we'll gain even more damage resist on top of everything else. We're using Slayer's Fang as our primary here, So all of these buffs that I've just went over will constantly refresh themselves on a shotgun kill. You have 10 seconds to kill an enemy with your shotgun before everything runs out. It's so easy to maintain, and as you can see in the background gameplay, it absolutely shreds everything. So I'm just going to show how easy this is to set up. First thing we need to do is use a class ability with a slice weapon, kill an enemy, then we have woven mail, bring out your shotgun, 2 kills with that will give us the void overshield, then we want to use unbreakable to kill an enemy to give us devour, then next up all we need to do is kill an enemy with a melee to get amplified. Now just use Slayer's Fang and kill everything in your path. As long as you kill something within 10 seconds, all these buffs will refresh and you will be unkillable. Now to look for the rest of the build, so our super is Glacial Quake. As I went over, Facet of Purpose, this will give us Frost Armour. For a class ability, it's up to you. I prefer Thruster as it's not stationary, you can use it as and when you're moving. For your melee, Frenzied Blade, because we get free charges of this, and we have Transcendence, we'll have this up quite a lot. Now Suppressor Grenade for Unbreakable, because it is the lowest cooldown. It's also void, so thematically it's good, but Suppressor Grenades are good for stunning overloads as well. Aspects, as I've went over, Unbreakable for Devour, Knockout for Amplified. Now our Fragments, Facet of Protection, when we're surrounded we gain more damage resist, and when we're Transcendent it's even more. Facet of Bravery, defeating targets with a grenade grants us volatile rounds for Slayer's Fang, and defeating targets with our melee will grant us unraveling rounds for our slice weapon. Facet of Purpose for Frost Armour. Facet of Balance, rapidly defeating targets with light damage grants melee, and rapidly defeating targets with darkness damage grants grenade. So we will be using a lot of light and darkness in this build, and because of that we actually will have our Transcendence meter a lot, so expect a lot of Transcendence with this build. And then Facet of Courage to get more damage with light abilities when they suffer a darkness debuff. But that is quite interchangeable. You can use when you have an elemental buff, your class ability regenerates more quickly with Facet of Hope if you want to consistently be able to proc Slice. For our weapons, I have the Immortal just now because it's unstoppable and it fits my champ capabilities with the build, and it has Slice and Master at Arms. Field tested as well for more stats when you damage with it, but you're not going to be using this a lot. This is purely your woven mail stat stick. Use your class ability, use Slice, then once you have woven mail, you don't need to use this. Slayer's Fang, of course, as I went over, Repulsor Brace refit to get the void overshields. This will be our primary weapon because we have a high weapon stat. For your heavy, it's entirely up to you. I like Temptation's Hook, it is a good barrier weapon. Jolting Feedback, Attrition Orbs. Very good barrier weapon, but it's entirely up to you. If you're going into a dungeon setting, then you can use a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher, it's your choice. As I said, I have 4 stacks of Nezarec's Nightmare, and then for the stats, as high a weapon stat as you can go, plus super. Keep your melee and your class above 70 as you can, and then grenade is entirely up to you. We're only need to go and really proc Devour the once, so don't worry about it too much. For our helmet, we have Special Ammo Finder for Slayer's Fang, and then Void Siphon because we'll be using Slayer's Fang all the time. No backup plans, I like Heavy Handed just for more orb generation. On the chest, we want Void Ammo Generation to give us more Slayer's Fang ammo while using Slayer's Fang, and then a couple of resist mods that I've got here. For our boots, We have one weapons font so that when I have armor charge it's up to 185. A void scavenger so that any ammo we pick up for Slayer's Fang will get more in that ammo brick, and because we're close to 200 weapons, our chance of a large ammo brick will be 85%, which is great. It keeps Slayer's Fang topped up and it allows us to use it as our primary weapon. Finally, for the class ability, we want Reaper, Time Dilation, Powerful Attraction. Whenever we use our Slice, because we have Reaper, it will also give us an Orb of Power, Time Dilation for our weapon stat to stay higher for longer, and then Powerful Attraction, we'll pick up any Orbs of Power when we initiate that Slice bit of tech to get Woven Mail. Now, if we look at the artifact, we're using the Tablet of Ruin. So Unravelling Orbs, picking up an Orb of Power or a Tangle grants strand weapons unravelling rounds. This is a nice to have, not necessary, but it's nice to have. Volatile Marksman, rapid void weapon precision hits or final blows will grant volatile rounds. Volatile detonations grant us class ability energy. This is great because we're using Slayer's Fang as our primary essentially, so giving Slayer's Fang volatile rounds on top of Repulsor Brace on top of Weaken is an ultimate void weapon. Flashover, as I've already went over, when we gain maximum bolt charge we become amplified, and then we're pairing that with Defibrillating Blast. When we stun a champion we will gain amplified and we will jolt them, and bolt charge will heal us. Hold Shuttle, damaging unravelled targets with a weapon will spawn a Fredlin. Fredlins sever targets, so this builds in more into our Woven Mail part of the build to grant us Woven Mail. This will help us get Woven Mail that much easier. Maligned Harvest, rapidly applying Volatile causes your next instant avoid weapon damage to create a Weakening Burst. Applying Weaken provides a small void overshield. Well, we're applying Weaken with Slayer's Fang anyway, so we'll be getting small bits of overshield, and again this just helps Slayer's Fang be so deadly. Then finally, to Shreds, dealing sustained damage to a severed target unravels them. Defeating a severed target creates a hotspot of strand energy, granting Woven Mail. This is what gives us Woven Mail. So, from the artifact, we're getting more volatile, amplified, and Woven Mail. So how much damage resist is this when we have everything set up? Well, amplified is 15%, Woven Mail is 45%, 5 stacks of Frost Armour is 31.25%, Void Overshield has its own 70% damage resist with the Void Overshield. Then we have the Faceted Protection, which is 15%, and then Nezarac's Nightmare, when we have Devour, is 20%. So in total, this would give us a 93% damage resist. While we're Transcendent, this would go up to 94% damage resist in total. Now, I'm not a mathematician, so this might be completely off. If you are a mathematician, let me know in the comments if this is right, but to me in my own calculations, because everything in Destiny stacks multiplicatively, then this would be a total of 93 to 94% damage resist once we have everything up and running. Plus we'll have Devour, which will give us 70 HP and grenade ability energy as well. So faster grenades, and every kill we get we'll get 70 HP. This truly makes us unkillable, immortal, the most tankiest build Destiny 2 has ever seen. And that is it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'll leave a dim link for these in the description so that you can have a go at building this yourself. If you have any questions or thoughts, let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like, it really helps me out, and if you want to see more from me, then be sure to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. I appreciate your time, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon for more Destiny 2 videos. All the best, cheers.